take us back to these patients. So there were 3 patients.
Yep.
How are they doing now?
So 3 patients, Dapa, Kate, and Janet. With Dapa, after speaking to her, after conducting the interview, 2 weeks after, she passed. Unfortunately passed. And with Janet, what is happening is that during the documentary production, she was doing well because she stopped the herbal treatment that she was on and went back to the ARTs. So she's working now. She's got some trading activities going on. And then the last one, Kate, she got paralyzed as at the time we're producing this documentary. But as I speak to you now, she's getting better. She can now walk.
Let's hear from Kate herself. She joined us on the line, but she'll be speaking at Can.
Okay.
Kate, good morning. Yeah, that's it. Say, William Ramahianape.
But
First of all, no, what's the sense is here?
young couple, you see the it's me and Nancy, it's me Nancy, Canada.
Yada yamiase. Won't antia won't hear why be and won't hear dear be and a bibisa.
To see me not to say it's me Nancy, not me to you know. A more into me, and Nancy, Gentia, Mitigia, and a supporting the Nancy.
So Kate is the one who's joined us on the line. She just tells us, confirms what Prince just told us, that she's able to walk now with the aid of a walking stick. Remember, she switched from ARVs to herbal medicine, and as a result, she was paralyzed. Kate, adentina a draw what ye de mamu na mo switch call herbal medicines ye baby draw say mo be you say no.
I think I call a woman say, hi, mammy, who ye no, me can ya me home. From mammy drew a walk on Fanochi. Pastor me best in an amity radio. Timothy radio, none of it said be drew for you be a cafe. Oh, no, hospital a drew na. A drone in my way, I say, who was sell Yamonia, a big contem. The ma woo, and see a big drew where the boy. See, mammy, I'm soon. And if you want me, jay, manum a drew hospital a drew no. Nti wo ma me TV ho ana me hu say heba ayi doctors yi bi say metimi aboni din a
Me debi
okay eti TV so a wo ka say wo wedro pa a oba so betimi atu ase nti ma me ni je na me call ho me call ya me bi say mo no na o mo so si o mo wedro a e beboa na ma me start say me ji edro no mo charge me sika o mo beji me. I'm starting to meet each year. It could be every week. No, Mama me drew. No, my benum. No, Mama me drew. See me called to us so there 6 months. There 6 months no. And me who say, I feel. I say me who nam no enye me yare. I say ha bibi sa ACC. One am say call ye. Na me come report ma doctor. Na doctor ne say e be ye me no me drew. See me go so no me drew na one day. E for die ade na perform. Call hospital na say
So we're speaking to Kate, and I asked her why she switched from ARVs to herbal medicine, and she tells us simply that 2 things happened, both in the media. She heard on the radio station someone say that the ARVs has adverse side effects, and she was scared, so she stopped taking the ARVs to begin with. After that, she saw someone advertise that he has a herbal remedy for HIV. And that's when she contacted him, began treatment, paid treatment. And after a while, she got the side effects from the herbal medicine rather. She lost her ability to walk. She went to the hospital and they told her that it's because of this herbal medicine she took that she was unable to walk. Indicate, you say a banusano, omo de wo call, sign call. Abrofun hospital in Rono, and eventually won't think kakra. Okay. We want to move to this leg of the conversation because, like I was saying, there are 2 parts to the conversation. The first part is the way we treat hospital prescribed medication vis-a-vis herbal medicines. And there's a second part of the spread of HIV, which really brings us to the situation we are in now. So we want to take just a minute and move with Kate into how she got the disease and the absence of education and how that is contributing to it. But before I come to that, Dr. Tony Mensah is here. I want to pick your thoughts on this one. In the first place, Doc, is there a herbal remedy for HIV?
Yeah, thank you very much, Daniel, and a very good morning to our cherished listeners. To answer your question, if you would indulge with me, we would do a little background information as far as herbal medicine practice has been handled over the years here in Ghana.
In a minute, please.
In a minute, yes. Since the days of the Osajifo, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the first president of this country, successive governments have taken herbal medicines very seriously. And the Osajifo started with bringing together all practitioners of herbal medicines at the time to forming the Ghana Psychic Healers and Traditional Medicine Practitioners Association. It was followed up in 1975 by the establishment of the Center for Plant Medicine Research, which is mandated to do a scientific research into the herbal medicines that we have here in this country and to elicit their efficacy, their safety, etc. In 1991, there was the establishment of a unit in the Ministry of Health to coordinate the activities of herbal medicine practice. Now it's a whole directorate, which is the Traditional and Alternative Medicine Directorate of the Ministry of Health. In 92, there was the establishment of the Food and Drugs Authority, which is supposed to register food, and particularly in this case, we are looking at herbal medicines that are produced. But all these interventions that have happened over the years needed to be culminated by one particular important thing, and that was for us to be able to train professionals who will be able to diagnose disease conditions effectively and be able to apply these herbal medicines that have been certified by the FDA for the purpose of treatment of disease conditions. And that is how come in the year 2002, the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology started a BSc herbal medicine program to train these professionals we call medical herbalists to be able to do clinical practice and to prescribe certified herbal medicines. Now, as we speak currently, there are no known registered herbal remedies for the treatment of HIV and AIDS.
Okay.
And so that should be on record. And as far as the documentary is concerned, if anybody made a claim that they had medication by way of herbs that were efficacious for the treatment of herbal medicines, then it shouldn't be a registered one. And of course, as you and I know, per our regulations, some of these disease conditions we are talking about, like HIV and sexually transmitted infections in general, are not even supposed to be advertised in the first place. And so there are no known herbal medicines that are registered for that purpose.
It's a good point that you raised, and we've been getting a word from our friends in the FDA who have been emphasizing that point for us. But just on the bit of background that you gave, if I want to access a certified medical herbalist who has been trained in uni, where can I find them?
Yes, across the country, the Ministry of Health and the Ghana Health Service have undertaken an integration of these professional herbal medical practitioners into mainstream healthcare delivery system of Ghana. And so in each region, there are selected hospitals, government hospitals, where you could find medical herbalists. To mention a few, in Greater Accra here, for instance, you have the Tema Polyclinic, you have the Shai Osudoku Hospital, Dodowa, you have the Lekma Hospital, you have the Amasaman Hospital. If you go to Ashanti region, for instance, where I am, you have the Tafo Government Hospital, you have Kumasi South Hospital. All across the country, you could access the services.
So when you go, you just ask them that you want
to see the medical herbalist, or you have come to the hospital, you want to access herbal medicine services.
Okay.
And you'll be introduced to the professionals.
Okay. Dr. Tony Mensah there, he's given us some insight into the practice of certified medical herbalists and their practice in the country. And he has made this point emphatic that there is no known tested and proven remedy for HIV within their field of study. I'm going to go back to the phone lines and have a quick word with Kate on exactly how she feels the effect of the HIV/AIDS campaign is working. Kate, me that's say, 1 year more still. We are then a wunya HIV area no.
Epacho, me na yare say or no and a nanya into a yare na the Neko hospital, small hospital, see, just a day a day no, any other cocoa fancy, to confancy, any cocoa whom you say. Or the enemy man so for a test and I say, what they may be, but it's one of my would have to we and I'm bano, it will bear 4 months. Not just one or two, so I infected. The honor and my here, they say,
No, see, you're dead no nyasa no.
one car, so we and Sana hospital no more country me. It's no one country me, or not for me and country me. But for the hospital, honor, the nurses or no, I can't say or more name won't come up. I did here. Jana Jonah no new see or more come on me and no.
Into Woko Hospital no mukade.
Omokache me say omo frɛ me no omoka say yare na mikunu yare na de ne bae no mo ye no test no yiwe ena ewom eno na I want ho a ache na amano abane sa nti wo say me ne me ma no so yekokoye na yehwe na me ne me ma no enyina ekoye na yekoye na kese omo mu di kan ne die na omo negative, but many baby newborn no, and a positive.
Na newborn need this thing.
4 months.
4-month-old baby. Anyway, I'm sure.
Me baby me wo of an mission just a baby me just na just me kesi me just me cancer bonne kra to me na brabo so because say me do me dan shia no because you kwala kitin me mani yan kitsoa kitin na wagya we say dia so me so asade nkwala we say ego me so in fact me ya pa me ya na me hu ni say mistake a me ye because we free mo no nya na me ye adwuma nkaka e de support me ma no nti na wo senka me ye ma dwen say ka me tie the hospital doctors na ka kire me na ka me diso na me ye ne sa ma anye ne sa e na me ko di e ba fu ye chi I cost almost 3 years to me fie fa ko me nko me ma me man say asetere mu den yo ma say nyankopon ko a ne nim de me fam to ha iti age be tia se bia no me kunu na woni ho no me boni tiri so me do me no me kan some boni because e yo no e no ko fa how we ni na e de beto ma bra boss
ke tuni bibi
nyaba
say what so mom and we can't say we know what you are going through but ebeboa on say bible cracker say wo the chair oh ebeboa say obe to me forgiving him because you know he is gone on no call you see aka woni umma and say wo yi wa dream finish and think about how we be share umba now we moving on from that why okay that's it say munyamria my hand up so she just took me through basically how she knew she contracted the disease. Her husband was falling ill repeatedly, and during one of those hospital trips, unfortunately, he passed, and the nurses called her to the hospital and told her that, unfortunately, her husband passed as a result of HIV. Now, she, of course, was distraught. She and her children were tested, and they found that her older children were negative. She and her 4-month-old baby were positive. Unfortunately, sometime down the line, she switched from ARVs to herbal medicine, and she became paralyzed as a result. You can tell that she carries a lot of anger, bitterness, and resentment towards her husband, and just trying to have a conversation and encourage her to let go there. But that's basically a summary of the conversation I just had with Kate. Kate is an HIV patient. Prince, in your conversation with these patients, did you get a sense from them that they are aware of how widespread the menace of HIV is? Did you get a sense from them that they are educated about what is going on in the country regards the spread of HIV?
Oh, unfortunately, I didn't get that sense. And one of them told me that for some time now, is they don't hear about anything about any campaign about HIV. So when she was diagnosed of HIV, she was very much surprised that really the disease still existed. So that is what I can say about that.
And Mr. Tiahine, it shows, doesn't it? What Prince saying, it shows in the numbers that we are getting. You see, because when you go back beyond, before 2014, in fact, early in the 2000s, when your organization, the AIDS Commission, I'm sure you were there at the time, working actively in educating the public and evaluating your progress, we were seeing more people aware of this disease.
Yeah, thank you, Dan, for this opportunity. And I would like to use this opportunity to thank and congratulate Prince Appiah and his team for coming up with this documentary, because it addresses a major challenge we have as a country so far as the HIV program in Ghana is concerned. And so I want to thank the multimedia group management as well for, supporting Prince and his team to come up with this insightful documentary. First of all, I would like to say that Ghana AIDS Commission is not against herbal medicine. We believe that herbal medicine has its place in treating patients. However, the challenge we have in the country is that we have an unregulated terrain of herbal medical practice in this country. And so people are making all kinds of false claims, and yet regulators are not doing what they are supposed to do. We have engaged the regulators to ensure that these things don't happen, but they are happening. And so we all have to sit up, because the documentary shows clearly that people are dying as a result of inaction. People are getting sicker as a result of inaction or on the part of people who have been appointed to regulate and to protect the lives of vulnerable people like those living with HIV. And so it is very important. And I also want to stress the fact that the media is also part of this. The media is both a protective agent and also sometimes pose serious risks to persons living with HIV, especially when they allow some of these false claimers to put their products on their platforms and misinform and deceive the people, get the opportunity to fleece them, and in the end, the people lose their lives. And in fact, if the documentary is quite revealing, look at the amount of money these herbalists take from the patients.
As opposed to antiretrovirals, which are free.
Yes, antiretroviral medicine is free everywhere in this country. And these people can pay as much as more than 4,000. Meanwhile, they don't have what they claim to have. And so it is very worrying. But at least now we know that all the things Ghanaians Commission and its stakeholders have been saying over the years with respect to herbal medicine is true. We've been vindicated. There was a time a particular product was sold on your premises here. We made complaints about it. We investigated it, and we got to know that all the people living with HIV who took those medicines ended up dying or coming back to the health facilities in a very bad state. And for that reason, the Ghana AIDS Commission and Ghana Health Service, came up with a directive, because such products were also being sold in the health facilities by health professionals.
In the health facilities by health
Yes.
professionals
Yes.
themselves. So I think, yes, that's challenge of our attitude towards herbal medicine. It's a larger one than we think, as you
Exactly.
demonstrate, if indeed even health professionals are selling some of these products. But again, the bigger issue of HIV prevalence, which is something that we don't talk about enough, is staring at us in the face, Mr. Tiani.
That is true. And I would like to correct an impression you made earlier that, after the donor funds ran out, we went to sleep. Actually, government has not gone to sleep. The problem is rather that when we began, providing antiretroviral treatment, we are no longer seeing emaciated people living with HIV. Everybody looks so healthy, and it appears that HIV is no more an important issue. And so individuals have taken the liberties not to care about HIV. And recent data suggests that even women, young women especially, don't think about HIV when having sex. All they will want is to avoid or prevent pregnancy. And so contracting sexually transmitted disease is not a concern to them at all. And so we need to look at that. But overall, the campaign was done together with the media. And as I said to Evans the last time he interviewed me, we still have that opportunity to work together, the commission and the media. You have all the songs and the materials. They are still in your custody. So let's see how we can put them out. But we have been working with GIBA.
The Ghana Independence Broadcasters Association.
Exactly, which multimedia is part of.
Is a part of it.
And we support them to at least air HIV messages for both prevention and treatment on their platforms, at least 5 radio stations in each of the 10 regions.
Okay.
And we are going to renew that contract.
Let me ask, sorry, Mr. Tiahine, is it the case that we lost some $19 million of funding from PEPFAR at the beginning of this year because we couldn't provide counterpart funding?
Yes, it is true.
Explain.
Is every donor fund, has a requirement that counterpart funding requirement. Government has to pay, some proportion of the donor fund as its contribution. And for PEPFAR, government was supposed to pay in total a little more than 17 million for the period of that agreement. And it was to be paid in tranches. And the first tranche was paid last year, I think sometime in September. But that was about the time the MOU, that is Memorandum of Understanding for that agreement between U.S. government and Ministry of Health was about to expire. So it appears the counterpart fund came, but came too late to save the agreement. But since
so
then,
we lost the funding because we didn't provide the counterpart funding.
That is one reason. There are other reasons, but that is one reason.
How much have we lost in HIV/AIDS funding since we reached middle income status and we were required to provide counterpart funding for most of these facilities coming in?
So far, that is the amount we have lost. There is also $1.6 million in respect to Global Fund support. In that, with that particular amount, we are not losing it as a country. We have that money here, except that it was deducted from HIV grant. We are still trying to get that money back into HIV grant. It can move to malaria or TB, but we still want to have it in HIV. I also need to stress that the U.S. government has assured us that if we do a few things, improve performance, for example, we are going to get the money back and probably with more. And we only have to demonstrate results within the next 3 months so that we can get additional funding. So it's not as if...
You referred to a conversation. I listened to that conversation very attentively. The conversation you had with Evans on Newsnight when we first realized that the HIV prevalence in the country was going up.
Yeah.
And, of course, we can all admit that the campaign was reducing. You made some commitments then that you're going to get the paraphernalia, the pamphlets you have in the AIDS Commission out. You're going to begin engagements with GIBA. You've referred to the engagements with GIBA. Which radio stations are you working with in the Greater Accra region? Where are the adverts playing?
I wish I have the list with me. I can't call them out, now. But as I said, we have 5 radio stations in each of the regions. We have 5 in each of the regions. The contract actually ran out because we ran out of funds. Now we're going to get some funds coming in, so we are going to renew the contract. And we're also looking at the possibility of working with all media houses, including yours, so that we can, you can also consider a few slots in a week as part of your social responsibility.
Has an approach been made officially?
Yes, we are going to make that approach now.
I was asking if it has been made. So
No.
it has not been made as of now?
No, but we have talked to, for example, GBC, and we've talked to the Despite Group as well. So we are going to talk to yours very soon about that.
Right. It's 18 minutes past 9 here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. Let me take Prince's final words here. So what we've done so far is that we have taken us through the issue of, this whole myth about herbal medicine, the AIDS Commission's position, the certified medical herbalist's position, and the effects on an AIDS patient. And I'm going to quickly take a quick word from Prince, and then Enimado will join us. For these people who use the herbal medicine, and would you say it's a matter of mindset that will not change? It's a matter of lack of education. What's really have you observed?
I think education is very key. The issue about the perception we have with herbal medicine is also there. The issue about the campaign that should be very, very active on social media and on all platforms, very, very key. All these people I spoke to, they had the edge to get well. They felt that they can get well, and all because of the stigma attached to it. So they believe that if they try, they believe so much in the herbal medicines, because there are other diseases that it cures. So they believe that they can get well, and that is the reason they keep moving from one herbal, practitioner.
Trust and mindset.
Yes, it's very. I think more education must be, must be done, and the fact that, you are sick, and if you take you take some medication, you will get well. They believe that if you take some medication as being, announced by some of these herbal doctors, they believe they can get well. I believe that education should keep on. There should be more of education, and we can address these things.
Thank you very much, Prince Appiah. So what are the reasons why people give for engaging in, for instance, unprotected sex generally? And what is the real effect of what we have done, the situation that we have on our hands now? We'll try and answer those questions when we come back. Anymore is coming in the studio. We still have Dr. Tony Mensah and Mr. Treme Etiahini here. Stay with us. This is the Super Morning Show.
Every year, thousands around the world receive impartation from the biggest gathering of pastors, leaders, and business leaders to impact their generation. The Supernatural Empowerment Summit. This year, come and receive an impartation from these great men of God: Bishop Tudor Bismarck, Zimbabwe; Pastor Ayo Orisejafo, Nigeria; Apostle Professor Opoku Onyina, Ghana; Apostle Sam Kranchi Ankra, Ghana; and the host, Bishop Charles Ojinasari, Ghana, under the theme Power for the Last Days, starting Monday evening 27th May to Saturday morning 1st June 2019. Join us for the evening sessions at 5:30 p.m. and morning sessions starting Tuesday 8 o'clock a.m. at the Paris Dome, Jolly Junction, Accra. To register, visit www.stsummit.org. It's the Supernatural Empowerment Summit. Come and receive power for the last days.
Oh, Mickey, why are you looking so sad? Massa, smile small, eh?
Charlie, you know say I make what for alone. Don't come and laugh at me.
Now, who says that they laugh at you? Now, I make what pass you said. After months of jumping from one bank to another, Massa, Prudential Bank finally sorted me out.
Wow. They make I also go there and try my luck.
Massa, this is not try your luck matter. Oh. As a Government of Ghana employee, you are covered. You don't even need to have an account with them.
Hey, really?
Oh, yeah. Once your salary is paid through the Controller and Accountant General's Department, Jack would them sharp. In addition, Prudential Bank has special loan products for SMEs, non-traditional exporters, micro businesses, as well as loans for any staff of a private or public institution whose salary is paid through Prudential Bank. Best of all is their low interest rates and flexible terms of repayment.
Really?
Massa, just walk into any of their branches nationwide or call 0302-781-198. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, I say, but where you go? Prudential Bank, of course.
Prudential Bank, your trusted and dependable partner.
Seesaw, up and down. Seesaw, up and down.
Dear Ghana, up and down is good for some things, but your internet is not one of them. It shouldn't go from 4G to 2G like child's play. Get true 4G LTE internet for grown-ups. Grab a Surfline 4G LTE MiFi device today. At Surfline, we give you 10 gigabytes, then add 5 gigabytes of data when you make your first purchase. Call us on 0302-745-777 or visit any of our retail outlets and get the internet you deserve. Yours truly, Surfline. It's about time.
This is a bank, First Atlantic Bank. Professionally different services all day long. First Atlantic Bank, and it feels so cool. I know this is where I belong. Come on, everybody, this is a bank like no other. First Atlantic Bank. Follow me, let's go now. We're stronger together. We're stronger together. Let's bank. This is a bank like no other. Let's bank. This is a bank like no other. Let's bank. This is a bank like no other. First Atlantic Bank.
We are stronger together. First Atlantic Bank. Refreshingly different.
Eja, so you not plaster the house before you paint them?
I dey paint no, because I dey use brush coat.
Brush coat?
Yes, so Charlie, it dey reduce my expenditure, Papa. No need to plaster. All you need to do is just paint. It makes your house beautiful, and above all, it is waterproof.
Waterproof?
Yes, so Charlie, I said waterproof. Make your house beautiful today. Move to Interface Limited and get yourself the new technology brush coat. No need to plaster.
Interface Limited is the leading supplier and installer of finishing input materials for the building and construction industry in Ghana. Call us on 0274-999999 or visit our website at www.interfacelimited.com.
The new Ghana card is more than just a way to identify yourself. It opens you up to a world of benefits.
The sooner you register for your Ghana card, the closer you are to accessing a new world of secure transactions and services. The requirements to register are as follows:
a genuine birth certificate or a valid Ghanaian passport and personal information such as the name of your parents or legal guardians, residential address, and your digital address code.
If you don't have a birth certificate or a valid Ghanaian passport, don't worry. story. One relative or two members of the community who have been registered and have received their Ghana card can vouch for you under oath. You will, however, need your digital address code. You will not be allowed to register without it.
Any person who provides false information during this process is liable to prosecution, leading to the payment of a fine and/or serving a jail term.
Watch out for registration details to the media and the national identification team in your community. Make sure you register for your Ghana card.
Ghana Card, connectivity, access, and progress.
So everyone says I'm a Kosia filler, but it's not like I'm nosy or go out to find out the latest filler. It's just that I get 50 megabytes of data free after paying for only the first minute of every call. And so I just keep discovering stuff minute after minute. That's how come I was minding my business, scrolling through my timeline, and I found out Coco has a new baby. Oh, and last week, I learned Ken won the lottery. You see, Ken is my brother's friend. So hello, look who's about to roll with the rich and famous.
Enjoy even more value with MTN Free After One. You only pay for the first minute of your call on MTN Free After One, and the rest is free. Plus, you enjoy free 50 megabytes worth of data to browse your favorite sites. Compare where, compare there. So dial *315# to sign up. We day for you everywhere you go. Terms and conditions apply.
Morning Show.
Just send nice the messenger to warn you about this HIV. Yes, my friend. Stand firm or you gonna feel
You can meet whenever. It's not on, it's not in. You can wait until marriage.
28 minutes past 9. This is the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. I am Daniel Daz here in the studio with Mr. Chema Etiahine. He's Acting Director General for the Ghana AIDS Commission. Dr. Tony Minta is with the Association of Medical Herbalists, and Enimwa Enimaro is a health practitioner herself, and she is a member of the Super Morning Show team. We are talking about HIV. The first part of the conversation after we spoke to Kate was, of course, focused on why people living with HIV opt for herbal treatment rather than ARVs, which are free. And then we've shifted a bit into how come more people are contracting HIV anyway. 330,000 people currently in Ghana living with AIDS. Anyone has some stats that should be sharing with us? But let me just take this message from Kwame Paper from Afghanistan City before I forget. He says there's been a fire on a light pole at Domi, Afghanistan City, behind the Domi Markets Railway. If PDS can come and check it out for us. We've called them, but no response, and the light in the area is out. Please help us.
You can wait until
It's all about AIDS. You want me to now?
It's also your birthday, Philomena Kuonu of the Bible Society of Ghana, from your husband, Anane Yao Kuonu. The message is that in Kebo Bagbo, I love you to the moon and back. It's 9:30 exactly, but you can make your payments from now on with your Barclays Visa credit card and stand a chance to win a flight to South Africa for the getaway of your life in Sandton City. Don't let this offer pass you by, because this is the one for you. Barclays is part of the ABSA family. You can call 030-242-9150 for more information. Terms and conditions apply. The Barclays brand is under license. Now, Kingdom Books and Stationery now offers a 30-day credit facility with no interest charge. Call us on 0302-764101 or 762-307 or visit kingdomgh.com. Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited, your number one stop shop for all of its essentials, stationery and furniture. Any more, welcome.
Hi, Daniel. Good morning. How are you?
I am blessed. Let's hear, first of all, the breakdown of the statistics.
Okay, so this is from the National AIDS Commission and the Ghana HIV Facts and Figures. This was released on the 14th of May, 2019. I'll just give you the headliners. So in the first place, 1,702,543 people were screened. Out of this, 4.2% were identified positive. Now remember that we're about 31 million, so this is really a very small fraction, but it's indicative. If it's 4.2% in a million, then it's indicative of the larger picture. 42% of these people are getting antiretroviral treatment. A lot of people who have AIDS also have STDs as well.
You mean other STDs?
Yes, other STDs as well. The female sex workers have the most. They're the ones who have carry a lot of out of that figure. 6.9% out of the estimated 65,000 that were tested. And when it comes to men who have sex with other men are the ones who are most exposed. They're at 18.1%. There's also the newborn. We have about 13,550 newborn cases for 2018. 83% out of mothers who had AIDS were getting ARV treatment. What happens is that once you're getting the ARV treatment, and it reduces the passing on of the disease to the child, brings it down to about 5% from about 15 to 25%. Just saying that so that we reiterate how important it is to get those ARV drugs. I'm looking for the areas. So there's been an increase in HIV in the Central, Upper East, Upper West, Volta, and Western region. It's been decreasing in Bronga, Hafo, Eastern, and Northern regions, and the plateau in Ashanti and Greater Accra regions. Obviously, urban prevalence is higher than rural overall, which seems to be a bit of a switch. And 15 to 24-year-olds have remained stagnant, but 25 to 39-year-olds are getting more AIDS. So the prevalence in that age group is rising.
Interesting. But there's a disclaimer on those statistics, Mr. Chairman, because, we got these from your organization, but they differ a bit from what we received earlier, right?
No, not exactly. What I was saying is that this data set is actually preliminary. We will do the official release in the next few weeks because it has to go through some validation. But generally, they represent what the true situation is now.
Okay. Let me come to you, Dr. Mensah, sorry. Dr. Mensah, in your medical practice, you come across young people and you come across people who have contracted HIV. What are the reasons, largely, that they give? Is it that there's a certain lethargy towards it? Why? Why do we have these numbers, in your view?
Well, I think that you touched on the issue of the campaign and trying to educate the public on and creating awareness on the disease condition. I think that is one thing that we should all begin to have a real look at. The more we talk about it and the more people become aware, they know how to even protect themselves, etc. I think that once the talk of this condition has gone down, you would expect that people, and as Mr. Tuahin was saying, now they are giving the antiretroviral drugs, and people don't really grow lean again.
Yeah, because that was about what I was about to ask as well.
Yeah, and so once you are not still educating the people further and creating the awareness further, the impression is that, well, now the disease is even subsiding, but in fact, it's rather escalating. And that is why we need to enforce education and public awareness creation, etc. I was in a conversation with Mr. Tuahini before we came into the studio, and we are looking at how best our association can collaborate with the Ghana AIDS Commission to join in the campaign to create more awareness of the disease condition. And I think we have to put all hands on deck at this time to make sure that especially the media are also inclusive. Mr. Tuahini mentioned that some of the platforms that we create as media professionals for, some of the practitioners to make certain claims also contribute to the peddling of not so professional claims, etc., and then causing the spread of the disease. So we have to look at it from all these angles, and I think that we'll be doing ourselves some good as a country.
And interestingly, anymore, we have also seen studies which show that people's attitudes towards things like contraception and condom use have changed.
Yes. So we know that a lot less people, are using condoms. Now, there's a release from the United Nations, and they were talking about sub-Saharan Africa, and their statistics show that 71% of new infections in sub-Saharan Africa are adolescents, and it's also because there was a culture a few years ago where the use of condoms was at the forefront of everybody's mind. But according to them, there seems to be a new generation who actually are not really in tune with the whole condom culture, the whole safe sex thing. The problem with HIV, like Doc said, is that these days, because of the ARV, you might meet somebody. I met a young man a few weeks ago. He works for a friend of mine, just found out that he has HIV. And I met him, I spoke to him, I knew, but there was nothing that would show that he had this disease. He was healthy, he was happy, he was, living his best life, dancing shaku shaku. I mean, he was fine. So I can imagine that if I was a young lady and I met him, unless he disclosed, there's absolutely no way that I would have known. Secondly, with this particular case as well, he didn't go to the hospital for a very long time, so he didn't know for a while. And so he had, a cold and was always not feeling too well. But in that space between getting infected and getting diagnosed, I can also imagine the number of women that he may have encountered as well. So there's also that space, when you don't know that you're positive and what you do within that space. Then, of course, there's also, like Daniel calls it, the myth of fidelity. So you are with someone and you assume that this relationship is just the two of you. But then it's funny because then maybe they are sleeping with someone and they think, okay, so it's just that other person. And then, but the other person that they're sleeping with is sleeping with somebody else. And they're like, okay, so it's just these two guys. And then and by the time you realize there's a circle of about maybe 25 people all sleeping with each other and just passing around diseases.
And because they feel they have only one sex partner, they are having unprotected sex.
Yes, they're having, exactly. And so that's what it is. And then obviously, even now, you meet men, and when the sex conversation comes up, they don't want to use a condom because they would say that it feels different. And they're looking at you and you're looking at them and they don't look like they have any diseases. And so you might, be tempted to say, okay, what, if we're in a relationship, then we might as well do it. But then we have to be mindful that if you are on your ARV, and I heard another doctor say that a lot of people who are on ARV, who have followed the protocol, actually look healthier than people who don't have AIDS and are not on any ARV, if they've really stuck to it. And so how do you judge? You know what I mean? How do you judge a disease you cannot see, which has this ability to totally change your life?
And we are coming up against, Mr. Tiani, it looks like we are coming up against, cultural issues in there, because there's the issue of, if I'm with my partner, then I'm married. You know how Ghanaians have this thing that, my worry no major, so she lives with me. How do we navigate around some of these mindsets?
Yeah, it's a whole lot of issues. Now, I just want to say, first of all, before I answer your question, to ensure that our listeners don't forget what the main focus of this discussion. The main focus is that people who have HIV ought to be treated. We have free medication for them. They start and then decide to switch to herbal medicines, and the consequence is dire for them. There's that story that we have heard from Jane, Kate, and Olivia, the true representation of the generality of the situation among persons living with HIV. And so we encourage them to stick to their treatment, antiretroviral treatment. It is free. Don't allow anybody to fleece you, take so much money from you, and still kill you at the end. Now, why are people not taking precautions when they engage in relationship to ensure that first they don't contract any disease? I'm happy you mentioned the issue of culture. Young people these days have their own culture. Because of the social media, they learn quite a lot of things from different cultures. And we call something acculturation. So everybody is conditioned to think that this is the in thing. You know, they want to be seen as they are. Young people these days cannot say no to their peers. So whatever their peers are doing is what everybody wants to go by. So they have become more of conformists. And so that is one of the challenge that we have when it comes to use of condoms and things like that. And so Aniwa has described the situation quite too well. And I don't think I have to add more, because if I have to add more, we may get into an area when we all get too excited and the program may not end.
Well, okay, so I already have a few excited people in the studio. You don't know that, Mr. Tani. Dr. Mensah, you want to make a comment on
this?
Yes,
I just wanted to bring this home, that when we talk about herbal medicines in this particular discussion we are doing, we are doing a particular reference to the treatment of HIV and AIDS, and not to say that herbal medicines generally are not good. As I started my introduction, we have taken herbal medicine practice as a country very seriously. And I tell you that there are herbal medicines that are doing tremendously well. And even with HIV and AIDS, although I have said that there are no certified herbal remedies, look at the documentary that Prince put together. And you have a certain herbalist, obviously a local practitioner, who is making damning claims of having some treatment or some cure for HIV. And in that documentary, you have him call on the Ghana AIDS Commission. And in fact, he's saying that he's been approached by the Ghana AIDS Commission and that they have come to see certain, records of patients that he's treated his medications with and have gotten results, etc. You also have another medication out there in which there is an authority in medical research, in this country, who is thrown his weight behind that preparation. And I know you know the medication I'm talking about. And it's on record. And in fact, if you go on MindJoy Online, you find this story still there. It's been posted as far back as 2017, and it's still there. And I am expecting that if there are leads, to the extent that there are potential herbal remedies that could be used for the treatment or cure. In fact, in that particular story I'm talking about, the scientist talks about a cure and not just the management or treatment of the condition. So is there a way that the scientific community can come together with some of these regulatory bodies and the Ghana AIDS Commission, for instance, the Ghana Health Service, and then include the professional medical herbalist to see how best we can clinically develop and come out with what has been certified, whether or not clinically these claims are true or not. We have the professionals now, and they are the hospitals. Some of the professionals,
and you'll be ready to lend your expertise in that. It's a great. Maybe the AIDS Commission can lead that effort and coordinate it. Let me give a minute to anyone before I take your phone calls. You have a comment you want to make?
Yes, I was just saying that in a country that's very homophobic, the rates of HIV within the homosexual community are rising. So we can run away from the fact that if we're talking about education, we can run away from the fact that we don't want to talk about homosexuality in Ghana, but they're also largely responsible when it comes to men for contracting the disease. So we have to begin to address that as well.
That how?
Address that as in address the fact that there are homosexuals in Ghana. Educate them as much as, there's a stigmatization culture, but they have to be educated. So we kind of have to focus our attention there a little bit. It's 18.3%, Daniel. 83% of men who were who had HIV, according to the report, are in male relationships.
Okay.
And so we can't close our eyes and not talk about that as well. So,
well, we'll take these important messages. When we come back, we'll pick your phone call. Stay with us.
Where's everybody? Who is the class prefect here?
Please, sir, most of them are not feeling well, and it's been confirmed that it's malaria.
You see, my dear, it is only the stubborn fly that follows the corpse to the grave. Same way, if you don't heed the advice to sleep under treated net, mosquitoes will bite you and you will get malaria.
Sir, you are right. Most people are just adamant. They don't sleep under their treated nets, so the mosquitoes feast on them at night. I sleep in peace under my treated net every night and throughout the night to avoid mosquito bites.
Night after night, in so many places, people are sleeping under insecticide-treated nets. Prevent malaria. Sleep under insecticide-treated net every night and throughout the night, wherever you are. Nothing must stop you. Good life, live it well. It's an everyday thing. This message is brought to you by the Ghana Health Service, USAID, and partners.
From importers to exporters, direct to indirect workers, you and I, the MPS Terminal 3 is great news to us all.
As a trader, doing business at the port has become easy. The machines are very modern and clearing goods has become very fast.
As a port worker, it is a great joy to be part of over 1,000 Ghanaians working here. This new facility means a lot to us.
As a cocoa farmer, I have more markets to export my products. The entire world can now taste my cocoa, bringing me and my family more income.
The MPS Terminal 3 is a game changer. MPS has invested in world-class equipment and technology to optimize the efficiency of doing business at Tema Port. This means more jobs, development, and opportunities for our present and our future in Ghana. MPS, we connect, you thrive.
Access and availability to healthcare, as well as costs, are driving many to look for alternative ways of staying healthy and ensuring well-being. Learn more and participate at the Joy Business Health and Wellness Trade Show, which will focus on the general healthcare, pharmaceutical, herbal and treatment with exhibitors and businesses from these industries. There will also be activities for direct consumer engagement and specialized discussions for corporate wellness, general well-being, debilitating health issues and concerns. It's happening from the 30th of May to 1st June 2019. Venue is the National Theatre here in Accra. The general theme is Good Health, a driver for sustainable development. Interested businesses should call 0544 310864 or 0540 106466. The Joy Business Health and Wellness Trade Show has been endorsed by the Ministry of Health and is supported by New Crystal Health Services Limited. Growing together in good health, and Health Link Healthy Man and Woman from Pharma Trust Limited.
Hyundai World is here again with an amazing time to smile bonanza. Walk into our showroom for your Hyundai Salon vehicles starting from $12,999 or commercial vehicles starting from $17,999 and enjoy 20,000 kilometers free service package inclusive of labor and parts, 1 year free comprehensive insurance, free registration, and a full tank. You can locate us at Obichebi Lamte Roundabout, Spintex Road, opposite Frames Oil to enjoy this offer. Or call Hyundai World's hotline on 0544 352 689 or 0244 932 485. Hurry, as this offer is valid till the 31st of May 2019. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Hyundai, new thinking, new possibilities.
Hi, I'm Emma Morrison, Group Head for Business Programming at the Multimedia Group. This year, I will be at the Women's Leadership Conference in Las Vegas with Adansi Travels. Want to be inspired to achieve a high level of personal and professional growth? Join me for this conference, which promotes women's personal and professional development and advancement. It's going to be an eye-opener with varying perspectives and strategies for development. Las Vegas is a top 3 destination in the United States for business conventions and a global leader in the hospitality hospitality industry. There will be lots to do and lots to see. So let's go to Las Vegas, August 4th to August 8th, 2019. Don't miss this opportunity to be inspired, motivated, and to network with over 2,000 global leaders at the plush MGM Grand Hotel. Oh, and men can come too. For US visa holders is $1,590 single, and for non-US visa holders is $1,950 single, exclusive of flights. Deadline is May 30, 2019. Contact Adansi Travels on 055-631-0404 or 024-360-6648 for registration and travel arrangements. Las Vegas, here we come.
It's here again. The International Advertising Association, IAA, and the Advertising Association of Ghana, AAG, are proud to announce the return to Accra, Ghana, of the IAA's Africa Rising Leadership Conference. This leadership conference comes off on Monday, the 20th, and Tuesday, the 21st of May at the Labadi Beach Hotel. A world-class group of speakers lined up for this two-day conference include Yao Insaku, the Executive Vice President of Unilever for Ghana and Nigeria, Salam Adadifo, CEO, MTN Ghana, Patricia Obonai, CEO, Vodafone Ghana, Emeka Okeke, Fuse Media, Dentu Ages Nigeria, Eliz Manolt, Facebook Africa, Math Okaba, Association of Communications and Advertising South Africa, and many more. Email africarising@aag.com.gh to register. This event is proudly sponsored by Stanbic Bank, Cosmos Energy, MTN Ghana, Enterprise Insurance, and Vodafone Ghana.
A media partner is Joy Business.
Africa is indeed rising. Don't miss this major learning opportunity.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
Just send nice the messenger to warn you about this HIV. Yes, my friend. Stand firm or you gonna feel bad. You keep meeting one another. It's not always nothing. You can wait until marriage.
Welcome back. We have 7 minutes to wrap up this show, and so we'll open the phone lines for you to comment. 0302-216-541, 0244-340-437. They're giving you all our 7 minutes. Talk to us. What do you think the real solution is to reversing this high prevalence rates of HIV? What is the real solution? You tell us. From now to the 9th of June 2019, pay for goods and services with your Stanbic Visa debit and credit cards and get the chance to win an all-expense paid trip for two to the Total AFCON 2019 in Egypt, courtesy of Visa. Use your Stanbic Visa card a minimum of 14 times in a month to increase your chances of winning. Visit the Stanbic Visa Park stand at participating shopping malls and get a feel of the 2019 Total African Cup of Nations by competing in the penalty kicks, ball juggling, wheel spinning, lucky dips, and many more to win amazing prizes instantly. Don't miss out. Let's make history. Go Ghana. Now, the Melco Grand Furniture Sale promo is on. Enjoy a 10% to 50% discount on the entire range of home and office furniture. Exclusive offers you won't find again. Melcom Wear Ghana shops.
Don't forget about your condom. On your friend the rubber socks. You know who you are. I'm not telling
Hello, Ghana. Take a step into the future with Absa Group, the parent company of Barclays Ghana Limited. At Absa, the future is as important to us as the present, so we always strive to keep you ahead. This is why Absa has invested $500 million into technology to make your future possibilities a present reality. We also want to make sure we collaborate with the right partners to provide you with state-of-the-art, award-winning banking solutions. Welcome to Absa Group Limited. Absa, proudly serving you in Ghana as Barclays. Sam joins us from Tesano. Good morning, Sam.
Good morning, Dan.
So, what's the real solution to this HIV thing? Tell me.
Dan, thank you for the opportunity. The solution one, okay, is this these criminals, as I will call them, who call themselves herbalists, must be rid of our airways. You see, the FDA must go strong on them. Okay, FDA must go strong on them, and then just clear them off. Can you imagine somebody saying there's HIV 1, HIV 2, HIV 3? So I was shocked. I thought your this thing, your reporter would have asked him. So which one is his medicine curing? Look, you listen to these things and you can't even imagine the word. Dan, look,
it's a problem, Sam. It's a problem. I can feel your pain. Thanks so much for calling. Emmanuel is on the line from Sominga. Good morning, Emma.
Good morning.
Emma, your radio is too loud. Can you please turn it off for us?
Yeah, good morning. I want to contribute to the program.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, please, you know something? Yeah, it's like our herbal people, it's like they're deceiving the people. So you have to read off from the system because, and you know something else.
You mean the uncertified ones? Because they are certified ones who have been to, have been properly trained.
They are just lying to the people that they have the medicine. But meanwhile, they don't have the medicine. And the people also, what is making the AIDS to spread disease? Because the ladies, they said when they are using the condom, the condom will burst. That's why they don't use the condom and they are spreading the disease. We need to do something about it.
Emmanuel, thank you very much for calling us from something. Very, very worrying concerns there. Dr. Yakubu is calling from Adenta. Good morning, doctor.
Good morning.
Great. Doctor, which doctor are you?
I'm a medical herbalist.
Yeah, medical herbalist.
Sitting in the studio with you.
All right. Oh, so Dr. Mensah is your colleague?
Yeah, he's a colleague of mine.
Awesome. What's your contribution?
I'm calling to talk about a simple fact in relation to awareness creation, which has gone really down. I would like to encourage the Ghana AIDS Commission to see the option of partnering with local organizations, most importantly, the ones that are made up of young people, especially. Because the young generation, the millennials these days, have largely lost touch with some of the senior people. They don't even know most of them don't know what's happening in relation to sexual relations. Because in the Ashanti region alone last year, within the periods of January and June, about 1,500 girls' teenage pregnancy was reported. That's about 30 pregnancy every day. And then at the end of the day, this is pregnancy. How about the sexually transmitted infections that these people also got alongside the pregnancy?
Doc, if I may ask, which authority are you quoting? The 1,500 figure, who are you quoting?
This is Ghana Health Service. This was on TV. It was on UTV. The documentary was done on UTV, and even more. And these are cases that were reported, and there are so many unreported cases.
Thank you very much, Doc, for drawing our attention to that. You got a smile there from your colleague, Dr. Mensah. I'm going to take my last caller. He's Salifu from Koforidua. Good morning, Salifu.
Good morning, my brother. How are you?
I am blessed. Let's hear you.
Yeah, it's a worrying situation. But I don't know whether this herbal medicine, the unit that they fall, whether they don't know that they are doing harm or why are they not checking them. When you go to the rural areas, those community radios and then the other radio stations don't have anything. They will be advertising medicine, alcoholism, and everything, just deceiving the people. So you, the media people, too, when they come, let those who have been certified advertise them. But the quack ones, do away with them. Because if you go to the rural areas, it's worse.
Thank you very much, Salifu, for calling us from Koforidua. Very worrying situation. It's actually bigger than just HIV patients. It's time for us to wrap up today's Super Morning Show. I'm going to thank Dr. Tony Mensah for joining us and Mr. Treme Etiahini. Unfortunately, there is no time for us to speak any further. Let me inform you that next month is the 12th edition of the Water Africa and West Africa Building and Construction Exhibition and Seminar Program in Accra. It's being held at the Kempinski Gold Coast City Hotel from 26 to 28 June 2019.